Hi peeps, so as you can see XJ is in a little bit of a sorry state. I'm waiting for parts, so what I thought I'm going to do in that time is to work on the front end, to be more specific, the brakes. The bike's been stood for a long time and those calipers need proper clean and disassembly, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to put new brake fluid in it, have a look at the brake pads, and I think I'm going to have to also do something with that on those forks because it doesn't look too good. I might also spend some time working on the wheel, which needs a little bit of a polishing. So yeah, let's see how this goes. Alright, so now we're going to have to take out this bolt here, which is actually holding the pads inside the caliper. So first of all you unscrew it, about 1.5 centimeters will come out, and then you can just whack it in here in the hole to punch it out. So as you can see, it's coming out, and first pad is now released. And now if you have a look inside, it's still there, holding the second pad in place. Alright, have a look peeps, so I punched this all out, and now I can remove that plate from there, and we can finally start cleaning the caliper. Using compressed air to get the pistons out is obviously a great thing to do. It makes the whole job so much easier. So one quick blow, and we've got the piston out. And look how dirty it is. Now time to clean this all.
A few moments later.
Everything nice and clean now. Look how beautiful and shiny the inner part of this caliper is. Brand spanking new seals going in. Cleaned pistons, nicely polished. And I'm using brake caliper assembly grease here instead of brake fluid. And with a bit of a motivation from my thumbs, the piston lands inside the slot in the caliper. And so once again repeating the whole process on the other caliper. A little bit of a caliper assembly grease inside, and just pushing the piston in. Some force was required, but overall not a bad job. Nicely done. Easy peasy. Time now to remove the front wheel in order to respray the front forks and work on that aluminium on the wheel to get rid of the speckling and make it nice and shiny. Right peeps, so I'll be working on this front wheel now, and have a look. There's a lot of dirt and speckling on this aluminium, which doesn't look good at all. I don't know if camera catches it. Hopefully you can see what I'm trying to show here. That doesn't look very good at all, but I've already spent some time on the other side, and if you take a look at that, that looks a lot better and cleaner. So I'm just gonna try to make the other side looking the same as that.
A few moments later.
Look at this peeps. That's a nice shine there. Coming along nicely. Okay, let's admit it right away, those forks have seen better times, plenty of scratches, lots of paint flaking off, but no problem at all, that's easily sortable, just a few minutes with sandpaper and then a couple of coats of fresh paint.
A few moments later.
Alright, let's have a look at those forks, because I think those look a little bit better as well. Really nice and clean. Nice. Using freshly rebuilt calipers which were also repainted is always a very satisfying job. Just to accomplish the job in a perfect manner, I've used brand new brake pads, and later I'll also use fresh .4 brake fluid. Now repeating the same process on the other side, and those green brand spanking new brake pads look just so lovely.
A few moments later.
Up next, cardan shaft oil replacement. Another super easy job. It's just a matter of unscrewing of two bolts. The fill-in bolt and drain plug bolt, and just putting the new oil in. Easy peasy.
A few moments later.
Now look at this. The old oil doesn't look too impressive, I'm afraid, but let's swap it with the brand spanking new oil, which will serve its purpose for the next few years. Next, I decided to remove the rear wheel just to check the condition of rear brake, which is a drum brake, and those are usually very neglected. So let's do that and let's see what we find there.
The great story that Barbara Bush told me. When George Bush lost to Bill Clinton, at 3 o'clock they all told him they knew he was going to lose, and they were all sitting around.
Okay, so the wheel comes off with no bigger surprises. And to my huge surprise here, somebody's actually been here before, because those shoes look pretty damn good. Plenty of braking material, and not really that dirty. Well done to the previous owner for remaining the brake in working condition. After a quick cleanup of the whole assembly, the rear drum will actually be ready to put back in the wheel. A little bit of a fight with those springs here, but no big drama. It actually all worked out fairly well. Let's now have a look at this terrible looking exhaust pipe. Plenty of scratches, a little dents as well, but nothing we can't sort out in here. Let's give it a go. Removal of the silencer was a super easy job. It only required removal of a couple of bolts, and by the way we can see the turbo. Yeah, exhaust comes out pretty easily. After a quick 10 minutes job with the sandpaper on this exhaust pipe, it is now ready for the paint.
The issue is also that topical application of finasteride is harder to dose than oral finasteride. I'm saying you should be taking oral rather than topical finasteride, but keep in mind that the dosages of finasteride that have been shown to be effective.
While the paint is curing on the exhaust pipe, I decided to give some love to this foot peg bracket, because let's be clear, it doesn't look too nice. It would do with some nice polishing. So before I started polishing, I actually gave it a few goes with a sandpaper. This was the variety of grits. I started with 800. Took some time, but it's actually good to do before you start polishing. For the polishing, I used Autosol paste and my rotary tool. Let's have a look how it worked out. Clearly you can tell all the dirt and imperfections have disappeared. Now it's time to polish it to shine.
And do you believe that, looking back on those two, like, very similar feeling?
And here's the effect, before and after. Okay, so it's time now to assemble the drum and put the rear wheel back on. Then obviously I'm gonna reinstall the exhaust. It's all very easy jobs. I've got to say, I was expecting to be fighting with this bike a lot more. I was expecting rusty bolts and a bit of a problem with maybe bearings or rear brakes, but I'm pleased to announce that actually in this particular part of the bike I didn't find any problems. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll see me in the next episode. Thanks for watching, till next time.